strategy has been launched about 2 or 3 months ago. And a key part of that is collaboration. And that's collaboration within government. And it's about, like, for example, the departments of education, or sorry, the small departments or the sections of the Department of Education talking to each other and working with each other. It's about different government departments working with each other. In terms of what we're all involved in, it's about education work with social welfare, it's with justice, or with whoever else is involved. And it's about, we talk about joined up approaches and have done for donkey's years, but it never actually happens. You know, so hopefully this new access strategy will make it happen. And we're kind of determined to do that. So we'll watch this space and see where we are in terms of that, because it's very, very difficult to get departments working together in government, even though it's in the National Development Plan and all the rest. But maybe this new public service body might do something about it. Pathways to education, what is it? Well, basically it tackles the kind of transition from primary to secondary, and we all know that that's a very difficult time for kids. This is a direct intervention across inner city secondary schools in regard to the first years mainly, but also the second years, the third years. We work with the teachers and we work with the school systems as well, right? It's essentially a self-esteem, confidence-building program. It's delivered via educational psychologists and psychotherapists. So what we have here is we have 3 psychotherapists, psychologists employed. And they go in for a double class every week through the year and work with the first year groups in a whole class approach. We don't isolate the kids that don't have self-esteem. We work with the whole, everybody who hasn't got self-esteem, take one step backwards, please. We work with the whole class group, and it's underpinning the SPHE program. That's really what it is. And it's been delivered by these people educate with that kind of background. And then it's a process-driven intervention in the sense that there's a program laid out, but the program can be and is suspended at any time depending on the needs of the class at any point in time. So for example, if a bullying issue occurs, they will deal with that bullying issue for as long as it takes in the way that I think they know best as professionals, and they'll tease out all the issues with the kids in the class in a very real time and real sense. We work, like I say, not exclusively, we work intensely with the first kids in a double class every week all through the year. And then the second years we work lesser so. We work with them a double class once a month. And with the third years we do a double class every 2 months. And the reason for that is just purely resources. You know, if we had more money, we could do more. But that's the way. Now, what we do as well then, we'd work with the school systems, and we'd work, like the staff of Pathways would be on the likes of the staff committees in the school. They'd interact very closely with the guidance counsellors and with the heads of the various programs, the year heads and so on. So there's an internal working arrangement. And I must say that this is going about 12 years now. It's funded by a load of people here, but it's also funded. The most critical part is that the schools themselves put in a significant amount of money out of the limited budgets that they get. So that's where we are there. I can talk. Certainly. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. In terms of the funding, basically, funding is all about finding the right person. Find the person in the companies or government department, whoever it is, that can identify what you're trying to sell them, for want of a better word. Now, that may not be possible all the time. You might be just put onto the kind of marketing director or the community person or whoever it is. But if you can find the right person, then what you do is you develop a very short, snappy business plan. Now, a business plan is just describing what you do and making your case with some nice photographs or whatever it is. And you send that to them, you follow it up with a meeting, and you ask them for the money. In terms of what you can give them, which no matter who you're talking with, whether it's government departments or corporates or whoever, everybody wants something back out of it. So don't underestimate that, because it might be just simple PR that you can say to them, look, anytime we have a launch and anything we do with Pathways, you're going to be included. And what you can do is you can put the Pathways site up on your website, and you can claim as much credit for it as you like once you keep giving us the money. Right? But if you mention one, the other thing I would say to them is that if you mention one partner, if you mention yourselves, you've got to mention all the others. Yeah. You'll see that this is, I'll give you these out later on. There's everything we do is everybody's logo. The logos are in everything. So like every time we'd have a Pathways launch, all logos are on it, and all that goes with that. The website, we have little pieces in the website saying we are very grateful to Anglo-Irish Bank for the money they've donated to this, and this is the effects it's having, or that we'd hope that it would have. So you have to, that's all we can give back, like that kind of PR, yeah. And sometimes the other thing that corporates tend to like is the corporate wants to be seen by their staff as being a good company to work for. And it's very useful that they can put this stuff, you say, look, you can portray to your employees that you're doing good. So stick it on the website and say, we're doing great because this is what we're doing. We're linked in with excellent. And we'll give you all the statistics and all the bits and pieces, no problem. Or if any of your directors or your employees want to come out and visit, no problem either. So that's what, and believe me, government departments are in exactly the same boat. They want the credit as well. You know, so that's it. Is that all right? The Ballymun Music Programme. Now this is where we use music as a vehicle of engagement. And this is going about 8-10 years now. Ballymun is, I'm sure you all, do you all know where Ballymun is? Or, yeah? Well, it's on the edge of, it's not quite in the inner city. It's the one program that, one of two programs that's outside the inner city. Our focus is the inner city, but we have programs outside, which you'll see. But Ballymun, anyway, is an area outside of the city, beside the airport, that is particularly disadvantaged. They're knocking down the flats now, and they're building new houses and regeneration and all of that. But we had been working in one of the schools going back about 8 or 10 years, St. Joseph's in Ballymun. And St. Joseph's